Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Survey 101. In this episode, we will determine the height of an object using the unconventional way of measurement. This represents the electric post, and then the cable. Now, we need to determine the height of the cable relative to the ground. There is no way that we can measure this using conventional method like for example meters, because let's assume that this is already energized. What we will use to measure this one, we need a total station and a prism. There we set up our total station. Don't be confused, yes, that is a total station. Then there is our prism. First thing, we need to set up the total station. Once we're done setting up the total station, we need to observe the prism. Placing the prism directly under the cable that we want to determine the height relative to the ground. First, we need to determine the height of the prism. This will be the representation of the height of the prism. As you can see, 1.6 meters. And then after that, we will observe the prism from our setup. And the representation of our observation is the vertical angle is 1 degrees 23.37 and the distance is 27.154. Then after that, we will observe the cable. This is the representation of our observation, and what we got with that observation, we have a vertical angle of 330 degrees 32 minutes 21 seconds. Take note that there is no way to get the distance of the cable to the total station because we cannot place the prism directly at the top of the cable. Even if you use prismless setting in your total station, it is not accurate because the cable is constantly moving. From our observation, you can clearly notice that we already have a triangle. From the total station, when we observe the bottom of the cable, and from the total station we observe the prism. This represent the angle as 0 or equivalent to 360. This angle, you already have the angle here and the angle there, meaning to say we can already calculate the corresponding angle of each corner. How we will calculate it?
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Note that the total angle of a triangle is 180 degrees. Therefore,
Artlist.io.
next we will now determine the equivalent height of A. This represents the height of our prism to the bottom of the cable. Using the sine rule, we can now determine the height because we already have enough data. What sine rule say? The distance of A divided by sine of A is equivalent to the distance of B and the sine of B. Therefore,
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
the height of the bottom of the cable to the prism is 15.99. Let's add the height of the prism as 1.60 is equivalent to 17.59. Means to say, from the bottom of the cable to the ground is 17.59. Now, let's check if our calculation is correct. From the bottom of the cable to the ground, 17.59. That's it for this episode, and if you learned something new, please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload new video, you will be notified. Once again, this is your Kasorbay. Until next time, have a blessed day.